What's up, people? I wanted to have a conversation about how to find opportunity in the trading card game market. Now, a lot of times I see some videos where people say there's not that much opportunity right now, or there's usually people are only saying there's not a lot of opportunity. And they comment on these weird niche plays. You know, they try to find these like quick flip products or like what's the best quick flip product. And I don't actually like that approach. My approach is almost always going to be trying to get in front of the market. It's trying to use my perspective of what I like paired with what I expect other people to like in the future. So what do I mean by that? Let's say something like Magic the Gathering singles. So you can take the Final Fantasy release and find a lot of opportunities with that, with just singles to speculate on. So for instance, there's the Commander VV. Now, some cards have spiked a lot in price, and I don't think those are the ones to go in on. I think some of the ones to go in on are the obvious plays. So for instance, they talk a lot about the Curiosity combos that VV can do. And while you would say some of the other like random cards that would pair well with VV is what people have already bought up, I think just buying Curiosity. Recently there was a reprint of Curiosity with Wilds of Eldraine, and if you were to just buy some of the new Enchanting Tales versions and variants of Curiosity, there's a lot of opportunity with that. Sometimes when people are new to Commander, the first thing they're going to want to buy is not just the most playable copy, but one that kind of looks nice. So the Wild of Eldraine Enchanting Tales, not only does it look nice, but there's a limited amount of those. Because the collector boxes are so expensive, there's not really going to be any new ones coming to market other than what's already out there, what's already been ripped. So the Enchanting Tales, I would say the foil version, because that's going to be more rare and you can't really get that from the draft. You can't really get that from the draft or set boxes. So the foil version of Curiosity is no-brainer for me. So that's a pretty good example. And then when you get to what products to buy, what to go in on, I feel like the answer is much simpler than people like to do, where everyone's trying to find like a quick flip now. Instead, if you were to increase your time horizon to about a year or 2 years, even if you're looking for insane percentages of gains, like 1 or 2x, 3x, looking down the line by 1 year, you can honestly find a lot of those plays. So one that I remember doing was for the Phyrexia Complete Edition bundles. So I already was watching this product because the bundles had been doing well since release, and you have stuff like the swamps, the oil slick swamps were just doing so well. So clearly, if the EV rises of the box, people are going to just open up the box just for that. And then also it's a very desired product, so people are going to buy the box just to hold, just to keep on their shelf. Maybe they want to see what they're going to crack. So this is an item that's going to get purchased a lot. Another thing about bundles is they usually go up in price anyways. If you look at any bundle from any of the modern sets, they're honestly overvalued with what's actually in the bundle, which is like the booster packs and the lands and stuff and the dice. You can buy all that separately, but you can't buy the sealed bundle for less than what you can buy all the items for separately. So bundles are always a good play, and what I was watching was the current listings on the market. Even though a lot of people can have these, let's say, stored in their closet or in their personal collections, a lot of them don't come to market until they reach crazy prices, and even then people just sit on it. So for the Phyrexia Complete bundles, that's what I did. I kind of waited for the market to dry up, and there was a couple moments where the market was looking like it was going to jump up from, let's say, like 150 to like 200. So right when it was like around 150 and you look on TCG Player and there's only like 1 or 2 or 3 left on the market, that's when you can go in easily. And there's a lot of moments like that you see on these products. Now, what I'm saying is you could have gone in at any moment on these because we know it's a good product. So how can we apply this to the current market? Well, Lord of the Rings. So this was a product that is incredibly sought after even now. There's people just buying it. Now, it's not as much of the value that's in it. It's the fact that we're nearing the end of its life cycle, and Lord of the Rings is not going to get reprinted anymore. So I think there's a lot of potential with just the commander decks, the set booster boxes, the draft booster boxes. Obviously, the collector boxes, it's a no-brainer, but even just normal products, and I would say the commander deck is probably the best one that you can go on. But with the set and draft, I think people underestimate the fact that some of the older boxes, booster boxes from original Magic, used to balloon in price. Stuff like Visions are $1,000. And now if you had bought a Visions box and you had bought the same amount of money and put it into a stock, I bet the Visions box has outpaced it by many multiples. So why do people think that modern Magic can't do the same with sealed, with just a normal draft and set? So I would say those are missed opportunities by everyone for any of these current sets. You see stuff like Wilds of Eldraine where some of the boxes kind of hit 200. I think you're going to be seeing that more and more often nowadays. And another one that's a missed opportunity is Commander Masters. I don't know why more people don't have Commander Masters sealed. The draft, the set, the collector boxes, the commander decks. Now you have a set like Final Fantasy coming out that some people are dubbing Commander Masters 2. And I would agree. This is a huge Commander support set. Everything is themed around Commander. And it makes sense because Commander is the biggest format of Magic the Gathering at the moment by far. Everyone plays Commander. And why not have a product that's tailored towards the most exciting, the most hyped set? Why not just sit on some of that? You have boxes like Visions where, people just opening it was enough to pump the price, or people going back for nostalgia. Why not a Commander set that not only will people go back for some nostalgia or just to see what they'll crack, but it's pretty relatively new. There's a collector box that's being supported with it, and you look at some of the EVs on stuff like Mox Alpha, you see the EV of Commander Masters, and you could honestly buy the box, rip it open, sell the singles, and profit then. So you expect the price of these, the EV, you expect it to decline? These were loaded with some of the hot Commander staples of modern time, which there's been no set, like even if you look back to like stuff like Commander Legends, stuff like this wasn't as packed as something like Commander Masters. Commander Masters was engineered to have infinite value. It was honestly a cash grab by Wizards of let's just reprint a bunch of hit Commander staples. But in practice, that's going to work, and it is working. And the more the more time that goes on, the more that Commander is supported, and the more different Commander sets, and the longer they go without reprinting a lot of the things in there, this set is just going to do phenomenal. And there's another world where Jeweled Lotus gets unbanned. I think they were saying if anything was going to get unbanned, it would be Jeweled Lotus. So you get a Jeweled Lotus unbanned in the future, and your $400, $500, $600 Commander Masters box can balloon back to $1,000. Or even you have, like, let's say the collector boxes. I think they're hitting about 300. That's not going to slow down. These are going to slowly drift up, and eventually there's going to be none left, and it's going to go from 300 to 500 to 1,000. It will happen. I know a lot of people are scared to make these predictions because, yeah, you have a face on YouTube, and so it's like you don't want the outlash or the backlash of people who said, hey man, I bought that box, you said it was going to go to 1,000 and it didn't. It will happen. Might take a couple years, but for sure from here, let's say it's $300. If 1,000 is 3x, I think it's fair to say you can wait 5 years for 3 times return. I think that's pretty fair. That's almost 50% a year. So it will definitely happen. It's been happening with all the products, and it's going to continue to happen, just like the entire history of collectibles and Magic the Gathering collectibles has unfolded. And who knows what situations or circumstances could make that go even faster. So that's pretty much that's a little tangent, but the whole goal is opportunities all around us. All you have to do is pick a product that you have some conviction for, and one that it makes sense and has some thesis. most likely your gut is correct, and the only thing you need to do is wait. I think the nice thing about collectibles and putting money into them is it's very obvious to see where these are going. It's very obvious to see what the hype collectibles are, and sometimes it's obvious to see which ones will continue to maintain its hype. Something like Fallout, the collector box. Everyone knows that's never going down in value. Everyone knows that's going up. The only thing is, because it's $1,000, a lot of people aren't willing to put down the whole 1,000 and willing to wait. They don't have the conviction for it, and they don't have the patience, or at least they're not taking the leap. But I'm sure Fallout by the end of 2026 will be 2,000. It's the direction it's heading. And the EV of Fallout singles already is looking like it's about 700, 800. Let's see the EV rise above 1,000, and let's see that box not get purchased up in mass. Because if the EV is higher than 1,000 for a collector box, and the collector box is 1,000, you know people are going to be buying it. You know people are going to be expecting it, especially if the deviation is pretty high, where you can buy a box and potentially profit $1,000 box, potentially profit $2,000 or $3,000 without pulling a serialized. Dude, that box is going to fly. So I'm gonna cut it short here. Let me know if you have anything that you're speculating on in the comments. Let me know some of the quote-unquote obvious plays that you found. Like I said, mine's Commander Masters. I think Commander Masters is super giga-free. It's a Commander sealed product, loaded with staples. Some of these staples you would love to have pulled from any of these sets, and this thing is chock full of them. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, help my channel grow a little bit. You know, it doesn't take that long. And come on, I got like 5 views, so help a brother out. See y'all later. Woo!